Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I'm DJ Glass with Brandcast. And today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about our technology and how we're helping commercial real estate firms better their online presence. Just a little bit of history about the company. We've been around for roughly 7 years. And in those 7 years, we've amassed hundreds of customers. We not only work with real estate, but all other types of verticals. So today, I'm going to share a few slides with you to tell you who we are and what we're doing in the marketplace. I'm going to show you a few customer examples, and then we'll hop into the product for an awesome demo. If you have any questions, please go ahead and write them in the chat box, and Bethany will be our moderator, and she'll help me answer those at the end. Okay, let's get started. So Brandcast is a platform for designing, deploying, and managing all types of websites. We're a totally code-free, cloud-based platform that enables any firm, regardless of skill, to create websites for every type of business use case. And the trend that we're following today in the marketplace as it relates to real estate is that we've seen commercial real estate firms adopt more technologies, more new technologies than ever before. And these technologies are continuing to transform the industry. We have technologies like predictive analytics, IoT as it relates to prop tech, and green energy. But with all of that physical innovation going on with your physical property, what about your digital property? What about your website? Has it remained the same? I bet it has. And that's typically because traditional web development is slow and expensive. Sure, it looks really simple here. You can plan, you can wireframe out your site, you can go to market, but once you put your feet on the ground, you'll notice that you'll have to get more stakeholders involved. We'll have to get the marketing team. We'll have to get the designer to lay out the website. We'll have to get the developer involved to program the site, and then operations for QA. And as you start to go through the process, it seems very linear and it makes sense, but we all know the more people that get involved, the more confusing that it can be. There can be endless rounds of iteration, and that just causes two things. It causes your website project to go over budget, and it causes you to really just go slow to market. So that's why we invented Brandcast. And our vision is to help firms like yours accelerate digital transformation. But really what I mean by that is just accelerate the speed and the cadence in which you can produce websites. So what we do that's totally bespoke to the industry is we take the entire marketing team. So that would be a marketer, designer, operations, maybe even IT, and we bring them into the same platform for the very first time. And the output of that is the ability for you to produce websites, not only for the properties or the inventory that you have, but for every type of use case that comes across your plate. So let's talk a little bit about that. Today, we're going to show you some examples of property marketing websites because that is really what's driving the industry. But Brandcast is used for many other types of sites. Some of those might be digital proposals, pitch decks, proposals, case studies. Others could be partner sites or team websites. So if you have a retail focus, land focus, office focus, you can create team websites that highlight your specialties and expertise. And then corporate marketing sites, your main.com, your brokerage. Who's to say you can't build a new one quickly and do so without causing everybody in the firm a huge headache? Let's talk a little bit about our clients here before we hop into a few customer examples. We are working with Berkshire Hathaway's multifamily division, Berkadia. And Berkadia is using Brandcast to produce totally custom websites for all of their multifamily properties. Currently, right now, we have 134 Berkadia employees in our platform who are producing 800 or so properties per year. And they're doing so in 2 countries. So they're choosing Brandcast because speed to market and scale on demand is very important to the customer. Once they get a property, it's very important for them to put it up online. And so they're a very happy customer, and I'll show you a few examples shortly. Next up would be Colliers International. Colliers International started with us 3 years ago. We started with one office. Fast forward 3 years later, we're working with 40 regional offices worldwide with over 200 users producing 400 websites on our platform. And so Colliers views Brandcast as a stepping stone into custom web development. These teams working on our platform, they don't have developers. However, they do have marketing and design staff. So we've empowered those employees to produce websites end to end. Let me just switch gears here. Okay, I promised you a few customer examples. So Bricadia is using us, as I mentioned, for their multifamily properties, as you can see here. This is a beautiful website, has a single page scroll type experience. Oops, just want to make sure I'm actually sharing here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay, perfect. Great. As I mentioned, Bricadia is using us for all their multifamily websites, and they've even integrated their custom document center into our platform. So this is their one-of-a-kind war room that they have here. So if you want to view any of the financials, you'll have to submit your information. On the Class A property marketing side, we have Colliers International. This one is Canada, Colliers Canada, who's producing these totally bespoke websites in-house. Now, these websites actually integrate to their CRM, which is really, really nice. As you can see there, we have a web to lead form. But you'll notice a lot of the websites look pretty similar. And that's because a lot of these companies are working off of a lot of the templates that Brandcast has. Now, on the marketing side, we have Colliers Asia, who is producing all of their reports as websites. Right? So a lot of organizations are spending a lot of money to gather all of this data, but they're still presenting it as a PDF. Colliers has flipped the script and put all of their data into a beautiful website, and the output of that is the ability for Colliers to collect data on how many people are actually viewing their PDF, and so they're acting a little bit smarter in the marketplace. And lastly would be Colliers Australia. This is a team website that was made by the Sydney office, and essentially this is for the agriculture business. So pretty unique, pretty individual, but really, really cool. Okay, let's hop into the technology. So I'm going to seed this demo with a situation. So let's say that my brokerage, we just got our hands on a new property that we're looking to lease. Now we need to get this website up really quickly. So I'm going to show you how you could A, deploy a website from a template, and then B, really rapidly create a website from scratch. So when you log into the Brandcast platform, the first thing you're going to see is your dashboard. Over here, you'll see a list of the websites you've been working on. And over on the left-hand side, you'll have your team accounts, which are essentially folders that you'll be working in. You'll notice here that I have a bunch of brands that are my customers, but for this demo, we're going to scroll all the way down to the CRE team. Now, in this folder, I have 3 websites that I can start working on. I have a property marketing one-pager and then 2 other sites as well. Subsequently, if I want to open up a template and get started from there, I'll just need to scroll down to my CRE team template and choose which template I'd like to create. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this single page scroll template, and I can actually preview how my template looks across all device types. When I'm ready to use that template, I'll just go ahead and we'll call this CRE demo. Perfect. And then I'm going to choose for that to land in my CRE team account. Great. Now, when you deploy a template in Brandcast, you're essentially making a carbon copy and then just landing in the visual sitemap. Now, this is essentially how the website is put together. Here we have the home page, and if this website had more than one page, we would have different pages here nestled in the navigation. But I'm going to go ahead and just focus on the one page. Now, when I double click into a site, you're going to actually end up in the design studio. So the Design Studio is going to feel very familiar for any type of graphic designer. We essentially design Brandcast with the graphic designer in mind, so they'll feel like they're in an Adobe product or something very similar. Now, one thing you'll notice about all the Brandcast sites is that they're really modern in look and feel. And the way Brandcast works is you can actually just push and pull on different elements and they will react accordingly. No more confusing handoff to a developer. The designer can now control all pixels, all spacing, everything that they care about. Great. Now, if I'd like to customize this template, first thing I'm going to do is add my media. So I'm going to go to my media library here, and I'm going to click this plus button. Great. I'm going to go to my desktop, go to my new lease folder, and grab all my renderings that I just got from my digital artist, and I'm going to upload those into Brandcast. Now, the Brandcast Media Library is a pretty brilliant piece of technology. Essentially, what we've done is built a compression engine in here so that you can just upload the biggest assets that you have and drag and drop them onto a page. So essentially, once all my photos are loaded in the media library, I can essentially go to my background image, I can choose to remove that image, and I can start to customize my website as I see fit. So Brandcast really enables you to not only swap out photos, but also change all copy as well. But I want to switch gears here. You're not always going to work from a template. Sometimes you'll need to create websites from scratch. So in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get out of this. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new website here. Great. We're going to put this in the CRE team account, and we'll call this CRE demo. Okay. Now, if you're a firm and you want to create a totally unique website, you're going to create a blank website from scratch with Brandcast. And the first thing that you're going to do is double click into a blank canvas. Now, the second thing you're going to do is upload all of your assets. So I'm going to go ahead and upload all of those assets once more. Great. Now, over here on the left-hand side of the toolbar, we have this idea of custom components. And essentially what custom components are individual snippets that I can drag and drop onto the page. So what I'm going to do here is start to build out my page really, really quickly. So I'm going to grab my hero element, drop that onto the page. There we go. And I'm going to start to build out a few other sections. Now what this feature enables you to do is build your page really quickly with only the elements that you need. Whereas a lot of different templates, they give you maybe too much. These snippets enable you to just grab exactly what you'll need. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a contact form. There we go. And so now I have a pretty simple single page site. I've dropped all of my imagery into the media library, so I'm going to begin to customize my website once again. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and drop in a property title, 42 Folsom. I can also choose to drop in any highlights I have for the property, so this is where all the leasing information would go. We'll choose to also swap out some imagery here. Drop in this rendering as well. There we go. Perfect. Might drop in one more over here. Okay, great. And now I have the contact form here at the bottom. So within a few seconds, I have started to build out my property site by using a few of the custom components that I have. Now, the beauty of Brandcast is that we enable Google Docs style collaboration. So once I've started to set up the framework of my website, I can begin to invite the team. So what I'm going to do here is actually just open up my user management tab. I'm going to go to my CRE team site, and I'm going to go ahead and add a team member, and we'll add Robbie at Brandcast. Great. So Robbie is our content editor. Robbie is going to be the one working in what we call content mode. So essentially, once the designer or the marketer has set up the content within the site and we need a little bit of copywriting, our copywriter will go from studio mode to content mode. And essentially, you'll notice that the design studio UI has gone away. And essentially what this role enables is anybody, it enables a super simplistic click to edit interface in where Robbie can come in and edit all the different copy and content here. So for instance, if he wants to swap out the contact information here, he can do so. And we'll call this Brandcast. And you'll notice that as I'm typing in this field over here, my global styles are actually being picked up here as well. So content mode at a high level will enable the generalist to make edits to media, to copy, to links, and to metadata as well. Switching back into studio mode, there's a few other things I want to mention. When it comes to setting up the styling for the website, all of the Brandcast websites can actually be styled individually. So essentially what global styles are would be the brand book or the style guide for any type of web project. And what the global styles panel enables you to do is upload all of your custom fonts. So your Google fonts, your Hoffler fonts, your Adobe Typekit fonts, whatever fonts you may have, we can help you get there. But it also enables you to start to set up site structure as well. So you'll notice here that I have an H1 appended next to my text element. If I want to change the size of that H1, I can go ahead and do so from a single location. But I can also change how my website breaks down across all device types. So here you can see that my H1 is still a 35. And as I go all the way down to phone portrait, my H1's a little big, so I might make that 18 pixels. And I might change the spacing here to 20. Okay. So the beauty here is that Brandcast will enable you to essentially break down your text and all of your spacing on a device type level. Now, there's much more to the Brandcast platform. We have a full animation suite as well. So if you want to create immersive interactions or hover states or in-view parallax type effects, you can absolutely do so. A lot of our templates have those already, those types of functionality already in the platform. So you can get started pretty easily. Now, one other thing that I want to seed here is that Brandcast will not only enable you to go to market very quickly, but it will also enable you to adhere to ADA compliancy. Now, when it comes to having your websites being ADA compliant, a lot of that has to do with how you design the website, making sure that your text is eligible and all of that. But the media specifically, if you don't have your media tagged properly, Google will ding you in search results. So we enable you to throw in alternative text so all your media is visible to visitors with disabilities, and you can do that here. And that brings up metadata. Let's talk a little bit about that. Once your websites are ready to go live, the first thing you're going to need to do is make sure that A, the websites look great across all device types, and then B, make sure that your metadata is correct. So we handle metadata via the website settings panel. And essentially, you can drop in your website description on a website level, and this will be the first thing that Google pulls in a search result. We also enable you to drop in a custom domain here. So if you wanted to do something like 123mainstreet.com, you would just need to point your A record over to Brandcast. When it comes to customizing your website or dictating how it's seen across social networks. We enable you to drop in a social image, which will be the image that comes up first and foremost on LinkedIn or Facebook or anything like that. When it comes to analytics, we're going to integrate with Google Tag Manager. So essentially you can drop in your Google Analytics or whatever other tracking pixels you have, wrap them up in a nice neat tag, and you'll actually get reporting on your Brandcast websites. So once the website is ready to go live, next thing I'm going to do is go to my website settings panel, go to publishing, and publish my website. Now, Brandcast takes care of everything IT related. So not only will we enable you to build all your websites in a design studio, but once you're ready to publish your websites, we'll take care of all the hosting, the bandwidth, the security, all the updates. So you won't actually have to tap a developer or an engineer anymore. You can just use the Brandcast platform to publish your website. Great. Now you'll notice that I'm actually published to a custom subdomain. So we actually enable unlimited publishing to Brandcast subdomains as well. Great. So going back to the slide, and just to wrap up, Brandcast is a platform for designing, deploying, and managing all the different types of websites that power your business. If you have a need to better market your websites or your teams or your brand, Brandcast is a fantastic platform that you can use to essentially go to market really quickly and for not a lot of capital. Pricing, let's talk a little bit about that. The way that pricing works with Brandcast is we are on a seat-based model. Each seat is $5,000 per year, and we typically have a 2-seat minimum. Those seats can produce an unlimited amount of websites. So with 2 seats, you can produce thousands of websites for your brand. And those seats also come with training and support. So we are a totally managed service. We will train and support your staff. We will help you get your websites live. And essentially, we will help you better your digital presence. Let me switch gears here, stop this share and go to my last slide. Let's see, Keynote, there we go. Just make sure everybody can see what I am seeing here. There we go. Great. So we do have an exclusive offer. If you'd like to give Brandcast a test, we'll work with you to build your first property website for free so that you can introduce Brandcast to your firm and see if this is a technology that works for you. The way that the free website will work is you can actually go to brandcast.com and essentially go to brandcast.com/CREtech and fill out your information in the web to lead form that we have. That information will go directly to myself and a fellow by the name of Robbie, and we'll get back in contact with you to set up your Brandcast trial. I want to go ahead and pause there. Bethany, do we have time for a Q&A?
Yeah, we've got a few minutes for a couple questions, and some things have already kind of come in, so I'll get started, and people feel free to type if things have come up along the way. But the first question that came in is, how many websites can I build per license?
Yeah, great question. So Brandcast is going to be an unlimited website model. You'll just need, as a firm, to purchase 2 user logins from us, and those websites can produce an unlimited amount. Those users can produce an unlimited amount of websites for every type of use case.
So you had mentioned that it was, like Adobe-like and very designer-friendly, but someone had a question about, what if they don't have a designer on staff? Can they do this without a designer?
You sure can. Brandcast will train and support your team. So if you have somebody that you'd like to designate as a user, we'll teach them the ropes Typically, those users are working with our templates and not designing from scratch, but you're still getting a lot of the benefits of the Brandcast platform. If you don't have a user in-house that you can designate, we do have a network of freelancers and agencies who work with a lot of our real estate clients, and those folks will help you go to market with any projects that you have.
So we kind of had a follow-up question to that. So how, some of these developers have lots of different, buildings and different sites. So how many users does it take to create and maintain a high volume of websites if they've got many developments?
Yeah, great question. If you have hundreds of properties that you need to market, you're really only going to need anywhere from 2 to 5 logins to get that started. The beauty of Brandcast is that we have a really modern workflow. The way that works is essentially you'll set up all of your templates in Brandcast, and we'll help you develop a workflow in where you can get new content from a property, plug and play into a template that you have, and then publish to market in hours, not days or weeks. So just to recap, you only need a few logins to really level up your website marketing.
A user had a question about, there was a question about users. Are users the same as seats at the $5,000 per year rate?
They are, yes.
Okay. I think we'll leave it there, DJ. We really appreciate you and Brandcast. Just so everyone knows, I know DJ covered so much in this very short time, and he talked about this incredible offer Brandcast is offering you all. We'll be following up with not only the information on the offer, but DJ's contact information so you can get in touch with him, and then a recording of this entire presentation in all of our participants' presentations, so that way you can follow up with each one of them. So thanks so much, DJ, and the team over at Brandcast. We'll get ready to start the next presentation.
All right, thank you very much, Bethany. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.